What is up, everybody? It's Wednesday night. You know what time it is. You know what that means. It's time for Let's Talk About It. So, we're going to jump right into our show tonight. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my partner in crime, the man with the plan, the God, Mr. Remy Q Studios. How you doing tonight, sir?
Finger guns. I hit you with the finger guns immediately. Everybody hates that. How you doing?
I am here. I'm alive and kicking. I am nervous, but I'm good.
You're nervous?
Yeah, man. We got a lot to talk. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this. Give it a few minutes, and we'll talk about it.
All right. That's fair.
But before we do, let's roll that snazzy new intro that Let's Talk About It has. Gotta hand it to you, man. That's a good intro. You did great on that.
Well, thank you. It's a work in progress, but we'll see.
It's a labor of love. All right, so I guess let's just go ahead and get right into it and bring our guest on. What do you say?
Absolutely.
So guys, I know this guy needs no introduction, especially to a lot of people in the community. You know him from his amazing talent, and you also may have seen the hashtag Austin over Peach. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest tonight is Mr. Austin Lemme. How you doing?
With the finger guns as well. Very good, gentlemen. Thanks for having me.
Just a bunch of D-bags. That's all we are. Finger gunning each other. Hey.
That's why I'm here.
Oh, man. So you doing all right tonight, Austin?
Very good. Very good. You know, it's still early here on the West Coast, so my day is only halfway over.
Yeah, I asked Austin, I said, do you want to be on the show tonight? And he was like, let me see how it goes, because, you know, your 7 o'clock is like my 4 o'clock. And I was like, daggum, that's right.
Nope.
Yep. You guys are finishing out your day, and I'm just eating lunch over here.
Trying to get the kids tucked in over here, so.
Well, we've had some great past few weeks on the show, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just as excited to have Austin on the show as I was Nerfy Girl or Reggie. I mean, I think a lot of the people, especially the Burke family members, would say that they're always impressed anytime Austin drops a new piece of artwork, and as am I. It's inspiring because I like, you know, seeing another artist's work actually helps push other people, especially ones that try to or tend to procrastinate. And I feel like I'm one of those sometimes, but
I really appreciate that. I need to look over here and make sure you spelled my name right in the description. yeah, that's me.
I did double check. Austin, I did double check.
Yeah. It's funny because I just sent Steve from Burke Family a package, and I spelled his last name wrong on the package, and he called me out.
So let's go ahead and look and see who's in the chat, and we'll say hello. We've got Ruben Guzman in the house. Cowabunga fam. We've got DJ Links in the house. Or should we say in the mix? Nah, I don't want to infringe on his...
You've got to pay him now. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it happens. We got Panda Awesome. Adrian, how's it going, my man? We've got... I guess we've got him here in the live, exactly. And you're everywhere.
Yeah, I love that guy.
We've got the Blue Hellion here. How's it going? How's it going, Dan? We also have Johnny Five Alive.
Johnny Five.
Hope you're doing well tonight, sir. Um, yeah, it looks like everybody's talking amongst themselves. So, guys, how have you been doing this week? I mean, I know that we're on Wednesday, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sweating bullets over here.
Yeah, it's pretty warm. We actually have what I believe the rest of the world calls humidity, and it's a bit much, a lot to get used to. So I'm not enjoying that. Didn't get
Yeah.
to go to the LCS today, so that's disappointing.
Oh wow.
Hello, friends and husband. Yeah, I didn't go either, but mine wasn't because I couldn't. I was just lazy today and try. Well, I say lazy in the fact that I didn't go anywhere, but I've been working on this weekend, which we'll get to later. But I'm so glad that you were able to be here because you just had something exciting happen. Well, something exciting for everybody else. I don't know how excited you were, but you dropped a print, right?
Yeah, the little print I put out, it is pretty exciting. I had a great time doing it. You know, it started out as a joke. We were all, I don't even remember what we were all talking about. We were in a chat over at Two Brothers Comics, and we were just, I don't know, we make fun of everything, right? And we thought, wouldn't it be funny if we did Something is Killing the Turtles? So I did, just started tinkering around with some stuff in Photoshop and some different imagery and illustration, and I did it. I showed some people around some rough artwork that I put together just as a joke, and people wanted prints and wanted to know more about it, and so I actually produced it a little bit higher quality and made some prints, and now they're out there for the world to purchase.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and it was Adrian. So all the blame goes to Adrian if this backfires.
And ironically, I think that's how they said they invented the Ninja Turtles as well. It was just being funny, kind of chatting it up a couple guys, and then they come up with that. So that's awesome.
But yeah, it's been a good time. I really appreciate all of the support that the community is showing to me and the artwork and just collecting overall. So it's been a great time.
So I'm going to try to pull this up so I can show a little bit of a clip of it. I'm going to try to share my screen. And God, this is the first time I've ever done this. So let's see.
So while you're pulling that up, yeah, there's so the signed versions, there's only going to be 25, and I'm not going to sign any more, and I will never reprint this. And then there are 25 available, or I printed 25 that I will not sign, and I believe there are about 15 left of those, and only 5 signed and numbered left available. So hit me up on Instagram, and we'll get one out to you.
So are you guys able to see this on the screen?
Yep.
All right. Awesome. And this is the print that he's talking about. Can you tell people that are in the chat that may not be familiar with your Instagram page how they can find you on Instagram?
Well, there you go, Mr. Adrian Panda. Just put the link in there. I don't know what my actual handle
Thanks,
is.
Panda.
If it's Austin Lemme or if it's OZ10.
OZ10.
But there you go. You can check it out.
There's we got Burke in the house, and then we got Dracula.
The other
Who the heck
Adrian.
is this guy? Yeah, I learned the hard way what it's like to have two Adrians in the chat at the same time.
I mean, it's Drac and Panda. That's good.
Yeah. So, Mr. Links, the origin of OZ10, it's actually Oz10. Austin. So, when I was young, way back in the day, I used to do a lot of graffiti art and tagging and whatnot, and that was my handle.
I've often wondered, but now that you mention it, I'm like, duh, that makes sense. It makes so much sense that it's Austin. And as many times as I've said it, well, I mean, I think the first time we ever had any interaction, I was asking if anybody had a way to get in touch with you, and they were like, "Yeah, he's in this chat," and I didn't know it was you. And then when I saw the name, I was like, "Yeah, makes sense." Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to switch it up just to make it a little bit easier. When I first started my Instagram account, I never intended on it actually being anything. So I just used the good old-fashioned OZ10.
The artist formerly known as Oz 10.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. Or just let that stuff ride. Let it go. Change everything over to that. Just go by that.
I mean, it is pretty cool. It's like how certain people have like, what is it when you use a different name, a pseudonym?
Mm-hmm.
Like they have their names that they go by. That could be just your pseudonym. I don't even know if that's the right word to use there.
It's funny because we're an alias.
Yeah.
And I did that quite a bit, about 20 years ago. And I eventually named my company Alias Project.
That's cool. Like so I've got a lot of questions, and I hope that we don't bombard you to the point where you're like I'm tired of being asked questions. So
Hey,
where
I'm here
do
to talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Where do you get a lot of your inspiration from? Like, do you have certain artists that you draw from or are inspired by that you kind of have a style, or do you like to think that your style is more your own?
Well, when I first started like getting serious about drawing stuff, in the early 90s, I had, the typical influences, Todd McFarlane, and then going into like Michael Turner and Greg Capullo, and all of those guys. But I found myself drawing their artwork. And so eventually I just stopped looking at all of that stuff and just, how would I draw this? A lot of it really goofy looking artwork. But hopefully, I think by now, if you've seen a number of my pieces, you can start to see me in those pieces. At least I hope so. I like really tight line work. I'm a really big fan of minimalism, so I like to keep everything really, really minimal. Absolutely. But yeah, other than that, I would have to say the cheap answer, those typical guys that everybody really follows, like Todd McFarlane and things like that.
Yeah,
And Tyler Glass.
Tyler.
Tyler Glass has been in mine for, I don't know, at least a couple minutes now.
He's got his own EGS slab book now.
Yeah, I was just going to say he's got his own artwork getting slabbed out there now, so good for him.
Yep, and Doomsday Clock at that, so it's good.
So I have some inside information that I want to share about Doomsday Clock. There is going to be a Doomsday Clock that makes its appearance on C3. Somebody has got the black and white cover. They did a Doomsday Clock, and they're going to be doing a colored version on Doomsday Clock for the C3.
Outstanding.
That's awesome. Yeah. Doomsday Clock is amazing. So let's talk about it. A lot of people say that Doomsday Clock sucks, and they're all wrong. Like, if you actually know anything about the story, or if you actually dug into it, it's amazing. So I don't know what the joke is or how this started, but it's criminal. And I think everybody out there is crazy but me.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and wholeheartedly disagree. So I never read Doomsday Clock. Get
him out. He has no opinion.
And the movie was just terrible. And it was enough where I won't even entertain reading the book.
I don't even know. I didn't know there was a movie, so maybe that's the problem then.
Well, not the Doomsday Clock, but the Watchmen and all of that.
Oh, okay.
So, Remy, since you're a big opponent of Doomsday Clock, can you tell us the
Yes.
story behind it?
Well, I mean, if you want me to spoil the end, I mean, if you want the spoiler for the whole thing and the Doomsday Clock prediction, because a lot of people don't talk about that. Like, that's the other part. Like, that's the other key thing about Doomsday Clock is they have a prediction out there and a certain date that something amazing is going to happen. And so for the folks out there who, again, don't care about the spoiler, the big thing about Doomsday Clock is that Superman is the center of everything. Okay, no matter where you're at, what dimension, anything, he is the center of everything. Okay, and Dr. Manhattan has to learn this through a process, but there is a prediction or whatever. There's a prediction that has a certain time where they tell Superman that on this date he will travel across the universe and he's going to fight Thor. Okay? And when he fights Thor, they said a green behemoth will give his life to save yours. And that's what we're waiting for. Now, when that happens, and then all these chumps come out, and they're like, oh, man, Doomsday Clock was amazing because it ended up coming true, that's fine. If it doesn't, in my face, and I'll be playing the piano by myself, it'll be a sad song. And, by the way, in case anybody didn't know, Never Gonna Give You Up hit 1 billion views today. Congratulations. Yes. 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 I watched it about 12 times. Yes.
I didn't hear a word you said before that, but yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, anybody who remembers getting rickrolled, congratulations. 1 billion views. That guy's the dream right there.
Yeah, you lost me when you said Superman.
He's the center of everything. Without him, you're done.
Sounds super boring.
I don't know.
Like imagine if one thing changed. Okay, just one small thing. Like if there was a being that was strong enough that could just make the Flash a second too slow to do that one thing, and he's a second too slow, and then it changes the entire existence of everything. And then what happens? Like, what do you do then? Like, Superman, dude, y'all are sleeping on the whole. You know what? I don't care. I'll go down in history. Everybody unsubscribe to Remy Hughes Studios. It's the best. I'll say it right now.
If I had that power, what if I used that power to just get rid of Superman?
You can't. He's the most important thing. If you do, then it crumbles. Everything crumbles. You have to understand that. Sorry.
Okay.
Doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Dr. Manhattan will tell you that. And he's the greatest too. In fact, never mind. We're not going to talk about this. We need to talk about something else. So, Never Gonna Give You Up. 1 billion views.
1 billion views.
Greatest song of all times.
It happened, I want to say about an hour ago, maybe an hour and a half ago. They hit 1 billion views. Yes, I was watching it all day, waiting for it. Mm-hmm. I was like, when's that next 1 million views going to come through? And then it did. I was like, 1 billion. Yes. And then I went to my bucket list and I went, and then it just rolled right back down. So and then at the very bottom, it says, finally defend Doomsday Clock. So I'll wait on that one. But
no rush there. So is that the most viewed video? Or that video just hit 1 billion?
It just hit 1 billion. Yeah, there's others. Yeah, there's other billion videos out there.
Like the water skiing squirrel.
Did that hit 1 billion?
God, if I know. I'd have just pulled something out of my butt there.
No.
So, today is New Comic Book Day. I know that Austin said he didn't get to go out to his local shop. Remy, did you get anything today?
No. But in DJ Link style, comics And now we're done. So let's talk about Peach.
Are you planning
Because
on getting
ironically,
anything?
Austin, you defend Peach.
I do. I think
Okay.
it's kind of a funny joke, and I believe Mark over at Legion of Comics started that whole Austin over Peach hashtag. And the joke goes on: you either love Peach or you hate Peach, or you have one favorite cover, but the rest of her stuff is garbage. But I really enjoy her art style. It's that mix of I know she trained to be a tattoo artist originally, which is how she started drawing, but her artwork looks like the kind of artwork that you would see posted up in a tattoo shop, and I really dig it. To a certain degree, I do agree with a lot of people that there are some misses on some of the artwork that she's done, but overall, I would say I'm a pretty big fan.
So would you find it insulting if somebody maybe did a side-by-side comparison of some of her stuff versus yours and then took votes on it?
Sounds to me like you've already got something put into place.
All right, Chris, roll the foot. No,
roll it. You know what? I'll go on the defense here and just say that you'll be comparing apples and oranges. I think that obviously she's got an excellent portfolio of artwork. And I don't think that my style and her style are something to be compared. Now, if you took like two different cartoonists, like a Scotty Young and maybe another cartoonist, you could probably try to put those two different styles head to head, but I don't think that we're anywhere close to one another to even do a fair comparison.
I got you. That's fair enough.
At least that's what my PR people told me to say.
I mean, even though people would prefer your style over hers.
As an artist, I don't hate her work. It's not my cup of tea. I have an appreciation for it because it really does have an Asian inspired feel to it. It's very true to an anime type art. And I know that a lot of comic fans are not fans of anime or manga. And I have to say, I'm not either, but I appreciate what she does. However, there's always the flip side to the coin. I feel like a lot of her work that she puts out on big books it almost has an unfinished feel to it. Like it was maybe a whim or an hour-long piece of artwork that she did. And I know that has a lot to do with her style. But I can see why people would get angry about that.
Well, I would say to her defense, she's putting out 4 covers a month or 40 covers a month or so. Like, she's got a lot out there. There's only so many hours in the day. I would say that there is a little bit of truth to that. There being a lot of unfinished business or unfinished pieces just because she's got deadlines to hit and putting it out there. But in regards to like people not liking anime, I think anime is extremely popular. In the United States, even, it's pretty damn popular, but you have to imagine that she's got a fan base all over the world. So she's popular, and I think that the anime style of artwork is very popular too.
So you're saying that when people see a cover that she does, unlike I do, they don't look at it and say, Austin would probably do that better.
I wish people would, but no, I don't think that they do.
or similarly, when you release something, you say, yeah, that's better than something that Peach did the other day. I just saw it easily wins.
That's the first thing that will come.
It's the first thing, yeah. Thank Legion for that. If Mark's the one that did that, thank him, because instantly that's the first thing I think of. It's a comparison right off the rip.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I'm more than happy to blame people for anything. So for that particular thing, yes, we will blame Mark over at Legion.
I guess everybody has their niche where their work fits in, and like for Alien and what are some of the other ones? Usagi Yojimbo, which I know she's done a cover for. Um, it works for that, but
Mhm.
when you're talking about things like Spider-Man and Venom and characters that are readily recognizable, people expect them to be a certain way. And when you put something out where those characters are changed, you know it's going to trigger people.
Well, I'm a little bit torn on this particular thing too, right? Because I would say that by introducing her art style to a book like Venom could potentially bring in a whole new audience into reading Venom.
Mm.
However, on the other side of that coin, I I cannot stand when in the few cases that I do judge a book by its cover, right? And I get that book and then I open it up and it doesn't relate to what was on the cover at all. Different art style, different tones, in the dialogue, the story itself. So there are some problems with that, but I think that she just became a hot commodity and they put her on everything.
Which kind of scares me because then you run the risk of using a hot artist that's going to be a flash in the pan. You know, 2, 3, 4 years down the line, it may even be 2 or 3, 4 months down the line. There's going to be some new hot artist, and you're never going to hear of Momoko again except on minor projects or indie books, which I know that a
Well,
lot of people would be happy about that.
as an artist myself, I think the bigger thing that I would worry about is not the community getting over her artwork, but I'd hate to see her burn out and quit.
Yeah, no,
Well,
Um,
if
I
she's doing
totally
that many, then I mean, that's just I don't know. I think for somebody to like, if you could ever be described as unfinished, like that's one of those. I think it's better to have one really good cover than to have 40 incomplete covers
yeah,
that then people are going to judge you on and say, "Well, Austin would do this better."
and I probably would.
Yes, timestamp that 7:28. He admits it. We'll put it on T-shirt. Thank you. Good night,
Yep,
everybody.
there you go.
And
And that
that
was
wraps
his
up the show
name.
tonight.
Good night, everyone.
We were right. Yes, rejoice.
You know what would be nice though is having the opportunity to see.
Mm.
I mean, I'm not ever going to allow myself to agree to, a contract or something like that where I'm obligated to draw, 20, 30, 40 covers a month.
Mm.
Uh, no way. But I don't know. We'll see.
Well, maybe the next person that has an opportunity to do their own variant can explore that as an option. Maybe they'll do their own cover A and B, and we'll have the true battle between Peach and yourself.
Yeah, bring her on.
We have a GoFundMe in the description down below. Make sure to click on that. And if you really want to see this go down, it's very inexpensive. All we need you to do is donate a couple $100 a piece, and we're good to go.
That'll be a good start. Then we'll just split the money and run.
Well,
We've already got the money. Why do we need to do anything?
and that's the thing I think that, and not to go back to this conversation, but to go back to it, I as an artist getting paid like her, you got to think she doesn't care. She's making her money. I mean, if you're making money, you don't really give a rip who likes you or who doesn't.
Yeah, and I'm glad you made that point because I feel strongly about not allowing money to interfere with what I love to do with my
Right.
hobby. A lot of times when people want art pieces or commissions or whatever, I'm more than happy to just do it for trade. Hey, they got a cool book. Hey, I'll give you a cover for that book because I do it for fun and I want to get my artwork in the hands of people that actually enjoy it. I'm not trying to get it out to the masses and just hope everybody likes it. Um, so yeah, once money gets involved and money and deadlines, it ruins it.
Hmm. That's how the world works. It seems like
Yeah.
Absolutely.
everything's destroyed by money and deadlines.
Well, I mean, it's the same in sports. You turn back the clock 30, 40 years before superstars were making millions of dollars just to go put a jersey on and stand out on the field and be mediocre. They loved to play the game, and to an extent, it didn't matter how much they made, but they were playing for a whole different reason. Now you've got guys that ride the bench that are making 4, 5, 6 times as much as we do, and all they do is show up at this, and that's it.
And that's all I'm saying. I want to ride the bench. Just
Agreed.
I just want to make a ton of money and just ride the bench and be
Agreed.
happy.
I don't need to throw anything. I don't need to catch anything. I'll just watch it from the best seat in the house and get paid millions.
Well,
Yeah.
my point being is
Just
that
stretching out my shoulder.
money has absolutely sucked the love out of a lot of what people do. It sucked the love out of athleticism. It sucked the love out of artists because you've got artists that go out there and regurgitate and just do stuff for the sake of making lots and lots of money. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I know that Momoko's not a millionaire because she's doing covers. Cover artists, yeah, they make money, but they're not by any means comparable to an athlete. But still, they're putting stuff out there, kind of like a assembly line. You put it together, send it down the line. It's out. You've made your money. Put the next one together, send it down the line. It's out. You've made your money.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I would say that money can certainly corrupt an industry and somebody's enjoyment in doing something, but it also gives the opportunity for people to do what they love if they truly love it, right? Because everybody needs money.
I love you, brother.
I can't barter a wheel of cheese to keep the power on in my house, right? I can't
Right.
knit mittens and hope that the water stays on, or can I?
What kind of cheese are we talking about here? Because
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
gonna
a
have to
good slice
Google
of
that.
cheese every now and then.
I'll
Some of
do a
those
fact check. I may be able to barter for cheese.
most expensive wheel of cheese.
Let's see. We've got somebody that's agreeing with Burke. I need to see what he says.
Uh-oh. Rewind the chat. Let's see what Burke said.
Oh, they're talking sports ball.
Oh yeah.
Go sports team.
But
I would ride the bench.
but yeah, you're right. I mean, who in their right mind wouldn't want to have a job where they can make hundreds of thousands of dollars and literally be background? That's all they are. They're there to fill in a spot. Their background. They don't really have a key or important role. So, and they're making money doing it. Who wouldn't love that? But still, I think that this whole love for money deal is killing almost every industry that we can think of, because something gets hot for a minute, make your money. When it well dries up, you send them on their way, move on to the next big thing. I mean, that's just
Yeah, so I'm going to start an anti-money campaign. Everybody just sends me all of their money so that they can cleanse their livelihoods of that despicable commodity.
What's up, C-List? How's it going? But yeah, I'm sorry I got off on that little tangent, but still, I think it's worth being said since we were already on the subject of Momoko. But so do you have any books that you are planning to pick up I know that you didn't get to go today, but do you have any that you're getting this week?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Spawn definitely. Department of Truth. The new issue of Something is Killing the Children.
Oh yeah.
Um, what else came out this week? I mean, those are the ones that I'm looking forward to. Oh, Berserker. I'll tell you what. So I read Berserker and I enjoyed this issue. But I really think it's got to pick up. I think the hype is over for me on Berserker. They've really got to start spinning some stuff in that story and do it quick for me to stay on board. It was off to a great start, but I don't know what else came out this week. No DC titles for me this week. But the only DC I'm doing now, I mean, if it wasn't for Nice House on the Lake, other than Batman, I wouldn't have a single DC title in my pull list anymore. And I'm really, really happy that Batman is starting to pick up a little bit more with these latest issues.
Well, the new Reptilian came out this week.
Yeah, so
Batman Reptilian.
I hear excellent things. Everybody seems to love that book, but I haven't read it yet. I'll probably just read that one. Is that a limited miniseries or is that ongoing?
I don't know. I can't answer that question. I know there's 2 issues out now. I'm not sure if it's going to be a limited or what, but I know that Mark would know because he's our local DC aficionado.
Yeah, him and new guy Ryan, big into it, and Chris. Those guys, they love their DC. So I figure, because I listen to those guys chat about all these DC titles, and I feel like I'm already I get the gist of what's going on, and I get my enjoyment out of them enjoying the books, so I don't have to read it.
You get a decent preview of what's going on in the world. I got you.
Yeah. I don't read the news. I just scan the headlines,
What is another one that came out? Oh, yes. Sweet Paprika. I'm planning on getting that.
I did get Sweet Paprika, but I only got the blank sketch variant because I heard some good things about it. I imagine that there's going to be some fans of the book, and I just want to have that blank in my collection in case somebody wants it.
Now, is that the pink one that they put out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know anything about the storyline or anything like that, so I'll read the first issue just so I get the gist of the story and stuff like that. But I'll tell you, a good majority of the stuff, there are very few books that I collect and I keep, but I read a lot of digital. And so I'll throw that one. One thing that I'm looking forward to reading, the final issue came out this week, I do believe. And I haven't started at all, but I want to read Proctor Valley.
Yeah.
So now that that's out, I'm going to cruise through that quick. I'm excited to read that. Jump on Homesick Pilots. I'm excited to read some of that.
That is a good series. A really good series.
So I got the first 4 issues. The rest I'm going to keep up on the storyline, but I'm going to read the rest digitally. So yeah, Callie, that's an excellent point. I have Mom digital, and I got 3 pages in, and there was so much dialogue, I just moved on. I couldn't do it.
We're done.
That's an honest opinion.
I'm gonna probably read it just so I know enough to talk shit about it. I don't want to bash a book that I haven't read, so I'm gonna read it so that I can bash it. But I hear it's just god awful writing.
If you want, I've been trying to work out a deal with Panda. And with his sultry voice, I'm trying to do kind of like a book and tape deal. So he'll actually record what these long books are. And like I said, if you want in on it, we can split it and just listen to it as we read it digitally, and he'll just read it for us.
No, that's a bad idea, and I'll tell you why. You're going to have so much costs in editing the audio because Pando will go off on a tangent if he reads just one little bubble. He'll, what the hell is this? And then he'll go off and start bashing something.
Well, now we have no deal, Panda. We have no deal now. I didn't know that. I thought I was just getting exactly what it said. And I was actually, to be honest with you, I was going to experiment. The first one, I was just going to have him use his normal voice. The second one, I was going to make him do the voices. You have to do, Daddy, you have to do the voices.
No, Panda's great. He would be, I would definitely buy every audio book.
Audio comic book by Panda Awesome. I mean, if you guys want to start paying me for these ideas in the chat, you can just send me the money. I'm the best hype man y'all got. You just don't realize it yet. Wait till Doomsday Clock blows up. You'll be coming back begging me to help you.
Doomsday Clock had its chance. Those times are over.
That one guy who invested and became a billionaire. And then y'all will see. Then we'll be talking about it.
Well, not on this episode, buddy.
Not on this episode. This one, I'm a chump.
Prices as artists, like where do we come up with how much we charge? It all comes down to how much time is it going to take? How much effort is going to go into the piece? I've had this conversation a couple of times where a drawing may only take me 90 minutes or a couple of hours. But that's once I've spent 3 or 4 hours thinking about what I want to draw. So even though it's not immediately, pencil to paper, there's a lot that goes into it. What pose
still taking up time.
Do, depending on the character, do I want, what costume do I want to use? Are we going to keep it clean? Are we going to do, something gringy and rough up the costume or something like that? Is it black and white? Is it color? Is it just a bust? Is it just their face? Is it full body? There's a lot that goes into it. So, but really what it comes down to is timing, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, Austin and I have had this conversation before, and it's something that I think has a lot to do with the person doing the piece of artwork. I personally feel like a lot of the time I have undervalued myself as an artist. And I've asked Austin a couple of times, what do you think I should, what do you think I should do with this, or just picking his brain. For me, it's always been about the person that's buying the art. Are they going to be happy with it? And I want to make it affordable for them while it's still worth my time. And a lot of the times, I'll be honest with you, when I charge for a piece of art, I make enough to basically cover the cost of what I've used and a little bit of my time. But, I guess it's just a preference, how you see the person buying your art. Like, I personally think Austin's art, especially this print that he just did, I think he's undervaluing it because it's a phenomenal piece. And yes, I'm using that, plugging it again. But this is something that I know that he has been working on for 3 or 4 weeks now.
Yep.
And it's hard to give a definitive answer because every artist that you ever talk to is going to give you a different answer. And again, I guess it just boils down to who the artist is.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and raise all of my prices now.
You're welcome.
No, it's always easy to start high and come down, when people come and say, that's too expensive, I can't do it. And then you eventually find that happy medium. But it's always going to be easier to come down in price than start to increase your price. Unless, of course, you become this big, celebrity artist and things like that. But I do want to say real quick, let's come up with a hashtag. If somebody goes to my Instagram and purchases a print and puts hashtag let's talk about it, I'll give them 15% off.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat.
Kind of spun that out of control there, but it just reminded me.
There we go. The hashtag is there. All you have to do is go over to Austin Lemme's OZ10. I'm not sure how you'd find it. You can look up either one of those. I'm sure it'll come up. I know that when I typed it in on my browser, I had to type in Instagram /Austin Lemme. So
this is what you do. You go to Burke Fam 54 Comics. You join the Burke Fam. You get introduced into the Instagram chat. Doesn't matter what level. Okay. From there, you'll see them in there. Okay. If not, there's another one. I'm not going to name what it is because I don't know how secretive it is or not. But let's just say some folks are against the system. And that's the special one. So if you join that and then we accept you into the group, then you can message him directly for this outstanding deal. It's fantastic. I'm excited about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Oh, geez. No, Adrian, no chainsaw.
Did someone say chainsaw?
If he said Adrian and chainsaw, you know who it is.
Did someone say chainsaw? Don't worry, Drac. I got you. You know the rules, and so do I.
Every time I hear the word chainsaw now, it's either Remy opening up an AOK or I twitch at that photo just thinking about it.
It's just the photo. Yeah. It's been weeks since I opened anything up. It's just the photo. Everyone knows that photo. Well, and all the this one, you got this one.
Now, I do like this idea, and not to throw out the Burke fam in the chat, but Steve and I were talking last night, and Steve, this may be something you want to think about. I think that would be really cool if you're planning on doing what we were talking about. Maybe me, you, and Austin can get together and talk on Instagram about this.
You know what I would love to do? Because, I'm not a big fan of coloring my stuff. And it's not that I'm not a fan of color. I'm not a fan of my lack of skills to color. I'd love to do a piece and then have you color it.
I'm down.
Let's do that.
Let's talk about it.
I was going to say you can do the white, and that should be easy enough, but okay. So you do the white, he do the green.
But I don't know. It's hard, and DJ said something very true, and
yes, it is.
It is painful to see people undercharge for things, and again, for myself, just starting out doing this, I know people don't know who the hell I am, but I would rather charge and have people get my work. That way they can plug it or say, yeah, this guy's worth getting work from, and then go from there. But, I was a new dog in the fight. I know Austin's been doing his work for how long now?
Like where I'm actually charging for commissions?
Yeah.
Maybe a year.
And see, I had been doing portraits for people, but like I'd not done before I started doing like Art with the Professor and doing some of the other shows and sketching out covers. I had never done comic work for people, and being somebody that's coming from type of art where you have to be super realistic, super spot on. I didn't know how to judge to put a price on mine. So I was new to the fight, and I had to kind of based just off of what I'd seen and heard, and so it may have been a mistake, but I don't know. We'll get there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want this to sound like hippie talk or anything like that, but to a certain degree, just having somebody ask me and have interest in wanting me to do an art piece was payment in itself.
Yeah.
And like I said, I do respect my time, obviously. So that's really what I charge. I just want people to, if they want something of mine, I would love for them to have it. And I don't want to put it out of their reach.
Right. Well, like my wife, she's my biggest critic. And when I started selling my covers, she would ask me, she'd say, how much are you charging for that one? And I'd be like, well, I'm $60, charging this for it. And she'd be like, what? And I'm going, I mean, I don't know what to, I'm flying blind to this. I teach elementary kids. This is not something I do for a living. So, I ask what I can, and if people are happy with it, they're going to buy it. If they're not, then they're not going to buy it, and I've got more time on my hands. But, if I've got people that are going, hey, I'll get it for this price, then I'll do it for this price. And if my schedule starts to fill up, then I can bump it up a little bit, and we'll go from there. So it's been a back and forth kind of challenge in the game. But I'm loving every second of it. Like, if people are going, hey, I like that, can I get that? Or, every time you post something in the chat, they're going, claim. That to me is drive enough to make me want to do it more. So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what I love even more than that is when I have the opportunity to do something, like we're going to do this weekend for C3. I've been extremely excited about that for a long time since you first brought it up. I just sent a print over to Steve to throw in the Burke box this month. I love that. I love being able to do that and that people even see any value in having that, in a mystery box or something like that. I'm all about it.
Steve's asked this question twice now, so I say we draw attention to it. I was going to answer it, but I lost track of my thought. I'll let you go ahead and say what you think, and then we'll move on from there.
So what was the actual question?
He wants to know if we can see the price of prints going up because of everything that's happened with like the COVID virus and the comic market in general.
So there are a couple of different types of prints, right? I've seen guys at these cons where they will take somebody else's artwork, like a famous cover, right? ASM 316. They'll make a beautiful print out of it, or they'll print it on metal or something like that, and they'll sell it for a ridiculous amount of money, right? So there's prints like that. In regards to original artwork prints, I don't know. I think that there is, to a certain degree, depending on the artist, a finite number on a print. However, if it's limited or something like that, like don't tell me it's a limited print and you got a stack of them like this in your booth at the con, right? Or anything like that. Or there's like 150 1 out of 25s out there. But I think it really comes down to what the artwork is. A print just isn't a print, in my opinion. But I think that where things are really going to start picking up, and I'm not sure if Scott or Hoarder's Hide is still in here, but I think original artwork is going to start booming big time.
Absolutely.
People are already into it. There's auctions out there. But, everybody wants these collectibles, and comics are huge right now. And if you can't get a book because it costs tens of thousands, well, what if I got a page in this other book that I really enjoyed for, hundreds or even the low thousands? I think that's going to be to take because, at the end of the day, these are investments for a greater majority of the comic book community and collectors. So I would say original art is definitely going to skyrocket. Prints, yeah, there's a lot of variables in the cost of prints.
Yeah.
That's what I want to get some a page. I'd like to get a page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I see Andy's Kanto original splash, I'm like jealous beyond all jealousy. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that prints they've got this standard, and you're not buy. Yes, you may be buying something that was an original piece, but a print is only that. It's a print of the original piece.
Mhm.
And I think that you're going to see a lot of people stick around that same price, because if they start going up on prints, people are going to go, well, I might as well just be buying the original piece. So I can definitely see original pieces of art going up in price. I mean, if you watch pristine auctions at all and you look at their original artwork gallery, you can see that people are increasingly buying these original pieces at higher and higher prices. And it doesn't matter if it's a key panel, a key splash, or a cover. They're buying the art at high prices, because right now, this market that we have for comic books is one of the best markets we've ever had for buying and selling. It's harder to buy those keys, but if you have one, it's a whole lot easier to sell it at a higher price. So you're going to see the same with that artwork. And I'm glad that you brought up Hoarder's Hide, because he would be the perfect person to ask about this, being somebody that deals and buys art, original art, a lot. But prints, yeah, if you buy a print, I don't see you buying a print like at a convention. I don't see it going for or being more than $35. They may charge you for an autograph on the print, which is even more rare, that they charge you to put an autograph after you buy a picture from them. But yeah, I see prints staying around that same price. They may go up a few dollars, but that all depends on who's printing it at the time. Did they get a good deal on the prints? I mean, there's a lot of factors.
And availability too. I mean, if somebody has 10 prints, then
right,
that's all you got. I mean, that's different than, like Austin said, you got a big old stack, and then somebody's just selling off prints. So
yeah, and then you have to trust in that promise that it will never be printed again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Steve, that's a good question, Steve. The answer to that question is, when I finally come up with a baby that I'm so in love with that I can't see to sell it, but I'd be willing to get pieces made of it to sell.
Well, you're really dodging this, but I've been requesting this for quite some time. What we need to get is your Venom piece. Get it printed on some what is it? What did I want? A velvet.
Velvet.
Velvet. Just make a couple of them, right? And make it a real, true 1970s old school blacklight piece.
That would be cool.
I don't know if there are too many people in the chat who are even old enough to remember those old black light pieces on velvet. Like, remember there was a lot of Elvis pieces on velvet back in the day.
If you don't know what they are, just take a trip to your local mall, go to Spencer's or Hot Topic. You'll see them. They're usually back in the back of Spencer's by the adult toys.
Yeah, or Google it.
Yeah, you can Google it. Save yourself the trip.
But a tube blacklight is a lot better than those bulbs that they sell you. So,
yeah,
for somebody out there who's going to do it, get a tube blacklight, a real one.
Yep.
Usually, it's got a charge for a second, then you flick it on. And if it breaks, don't smell the gas inside.
No, now you tell me.
Sorry. That's how I became an only child.
Oh, Lord. What did he say this time?
Don't we all?
Oh, God.
Yeah. C2E2. For those of you who are going to be there, the outfits there are coming.
So, I guess this would be a good, since we've hit the hour mark. I guess this would be a good time because we've had some really great discussion tonight. A good time to hit up some conversation, just a quick conversation about this weekend. You're going to be able to see this guy down here and this guy over here on C3, which is on my channel this Friday and Saturday at 10 p.m. Right after DJ Links is in the mix and the rap battle, which promises to be an epic rap battle. And I think this guy over here is going to be in that rap battle. And Lil Glass Tootsie is going to be a judge, I believe. Am I correct on that?
Mm-hmm. And Biggie Shaq's going to be a judge.
Yep.
And he swears that he's going to be honest.
We'll see.
And you're taking on actual Dracula first round, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think I go first, too. I'm pretty sure we figured out the schedule. I think I'm the first one that's going to go, and then Drac will go.
But please make sure that you tune in to that, to the rap battle. It's always fun to watch. But after that, 10 p.m., come over to my channel. We're having the C3 event, Comics Curing Cancer. It is a fundraiser for cancer research, cancer aid towards cancer patients. All the proceeds from this will be going to the American Cancer Society. Got some great pieces to auction off, original work. We've got very nice 11 by 17 Jason David Prank poster in the Bloodshot costume that is signed and certified by JSA. It's going to be auctioned off, as well as some cool giveaway prizes. I've been going out for like a week and a half, 2 weeks now, buying stuff when I see it that would be nice to give away. So 24-hour stream. I believe that we, as long as Mark can confirm this, I believe we're also going to have John Chang on. And I believe he is going to be auctioning off maybe a piece or two. And that in itself is worth the price of admission. But definitely come support some of your community members. These two guys, Roscoe, Louis, Dracula, Soul Twice, and the list goes on and on for people that are going to be coming on the show. And it's going to be a fun time. But I've seen some of what Austin is doing for the C3, and you definitely don't want to miss that. I let him, I don't want to steal his thunder. If he wants to keep it under wraps, he can. If he wants to talk about it, he can talk about it. But yeah, this is, it's going to be fun. There's a GoFundMe link. And also, I partnered with, and I'm going to put this in the chat, I've partnered with at Spider-Man booth, and JP has been gracious enough to give me a code to use for C3. So if you go to their website and order anything on it, you can get $10 off with the code that I just posted down below. And then every dollar that you spend on their website, they're going to match up to $2,000. So that's really cool of him. He was so willing to jump on board with that. And I can't say that I appreciate it enough. But that's enough of me talking. So what are you guys looking forward to?
I mean, yeah, check out the rap battle and C3. Exactly what Chris just said. I mean, or Chris just said, I'll be on there. So come check it out.
All right. Excellent job, Remy. I'm gonna be on there for as many hours during the 24-hour span as I possibly can. I'll be doing a full custom 11 by 17 piece, Department of Truth themed. I'll be showing progress throughout the whole time that I'm on the air, whether I'm talking or drawing or laughing or crying. you'll be able to see the progress in real time. So I will not be doing any work on this piece that is not on camera. So you'll be able to see that progress through the whole 24 hours. And then I think, we've got a lot of other great artists coming on, a lot of great guests, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I know that Lil Last Tootsie posted a picture on his Instagram today of a book that he's had graded that he's going to be selling for C3. I think he's proud of his baby, as he should be. But you should definitely check that out. It's going to be fun. Like I went out and bought a few new blank covers. I've got a Bristol board coming in that I could tomorrow, hopefully, that I can use. I've got blank sketch cards that I've got that I can do. So I'm prepared. I'm a little bit nervous about it. I just personally, because of the people that I have lost to cancer, I want to do them justice, and I want to make sure that this is done right. So we've got a goal of $4,000. I know that we've already hit $200, and the event hasn't even started. So it's going to be fun. I know that Nerdy Girl is actually, and she's going to auction off a few books or a couple books or a book. She hasn't really stated, but yeah, it's.
I think it was Captain America #1.
I'm a big fan of Nerfy Girl, so I can't wait to see her.
Yeah.
So I jumped on her Whatnot sale the other day when she was live, and I asked her if she was auctioning off her DC 27, and she was like, "Not in your lifetime." So the niceties that she had with us on our show kind of ended once she walked out the door. But anyways, I hope to see you all there. I do want to say thank you to Austin for coming on tonight. I know that it was very last minute, but he was gracious enough to join us. I appreciate you fitting it in your schedule, sir.
I'm glad that you even asked. I appreciate the invite.
And I also want to thank my partner in crime for being here.
Thank you, sir.
And I had planned, if I had planned a little bit more ahead of time, I was going to play your Dude Ranch video, but I didn't get it loaded in, so that's going to have to wait till the next time we're on my channel, and I've had some rest. But with that being said, anybody else got anything else to talk about or to say before we leave?
Nope, just join us on Friday night.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you there. Guys, I hope you have a great rest of the week. Look forward to seeing you this weekend. This has been another episode of Let's Talk About It with our guest, Austin Lemme. So we'll close it out just like we do every other show. Be a blessing to somebody today. Most importantly, I hope that you're blessed. We'll see you next time.